I'm over to our studio guest, and still we get the Minister of Information and Civic Education. We don't take you through on things that we don't happen at the ministry. Now to the issue of political governance and national security, Mr. Minister. Which really, at this particular issue is surrounding two important aspects here in terms of governance.
Well, that's a very broad question, but maybe an opportunity for me to just address the question of national security. And this country is very, very secure. The people of this country, for understand, say the Commander-in-Chief, Brigadier retired Dr. Julius Madabio, don't put in place the mechanisms there. We see the transition which just happened at the military, a very safe, a very peaceful transition that happened. We make a commitment after November 26 last year and I've been talking here, that no matter how long it takes, the government not go for rest until every single one of them people in the way try for bring chaos and number kind of this country, then face the full force of the laws of this country. And when I don't see that commitment, they don't be kept. We don't need to look for them. We know they tire for look for them. Everybody waiting at that wanted list, the advice will get for them, to them family them, is let them come forward and face the justice system and answer to the crime. The one day we go to court, when they find them, say they not get evidence, say they hadn't been did it, then they release them, then they free. But treason is a very high crime. And then two individuals, and they will be not even make mots, they be not go boast, they go now Zoom, they knock their chest, say, then they come back, they go pull this country, then go destroy this country, then go pull President Julius Madabio. Well, the laws of this country, the law enforcement officials, and track them. When they go try for arrest them, then people then they seek again for open fire. And this time, as you remember last year, 18 of we gallant military officials they lost their life in defense of me and you with freedom and with democracy. And as I said the last 10 to now, this time the officers then been alert, and then people then they unfortunately suffer fatal injuries. But the big important news now that everything with the armed forces then they do now within the law is systematic. The transitions will happen. Even the one that we at the news we will see recently say there's been some people that they don't send compulsory retirement. The one in this if we then send on compulsory retirement is done in an orderly fashion. The one that we them discharge for where they abandon their duty and they will go on away. The one in they don't get rid of them, they're no longer listed in the army, and the other the winner for misconduct, they follow the due process. We get a professional armed services in this country where they work as well on reforming additional reforms of even the Sierra Leone police and the armed service system. So in terms of on the security side, I want to assure the people of this country that you don't get nothing for worry about. Remain vigilant, especially in this festive period. If you see something, say something, like I can say. The only reason we make the security sector they succeed now because they get the full cooperation of the ordinary citizens, and then they can give you information, and then they tell you, say them people here, and I had this person hide, and then they're able to track them, and one for tell 10 kids or citizens that way they continue to do that.
So, Mr. Minister, it sounds like there's a political threat or weakness in some area, because if you still say on a day and look out on the people that will be involved in the November 26 square and other things, it's like a gap day where compound the issue about the country insecurity and stability.
No, absolutely no gap. No day. It's up to you. I think what I try for do now for assure the people, let's say, the power when are the commander-in-chief, it is in full control and it is in charge.
So you need to remind people of that, so they already know.
Yes, absolutely. You see, in governance, you repeat and remind people and for reassure them, because when they know say the commander-in-chief, the retired brigadier general himself, is in complete control, they know say they don't get nothing for worry about. Keep in mind, people in the way constantly they send negative news. People in the way want for sow discord, we want for sow threats against we in this country. But we want to reassure the people of this country, as you don't see since last year November, yin, no bush shaking, and any side, anybody we try, we attempt for cause any problem anywhere, the state security apparatus is fully equipped. To the other points about the one that we still there on the loose, as I don't say, they are fugitives. Every country get fugitives. Every law enforcement system get people who they run away from the law. When you run away from the law, you for just know say the long arm of justice, they look for you, and one day we will bring you calm for make you face justice.
All right. After the coup, we see the government or police people release. We put a lot of people as wanted. Almost people, government do arrest in relation to the last coup.
I think in terms of the arrest, most of the people on that list, a good number of them don't be arrested. I'm not going to give you the exact number now, but what I explained the other day is that that's not an exhaustive list. Some people in the way wanted, but will not list them. Some of them people in the will continue for track them. Some people in the way, the investigations they continue, because again, you have to understand, say, an attempt to overthrow the state at the highest possible crime. You, if you take part, you talk, you commit crime. You where you know say that this is the go do, you commit crime. So at each stage of the investigation, at each stage of the trial, but what you don't see is complete transparency in the trial process. Everything has been public. In fact, we get some citizens them and journalists them where they give live reporting. They go courts every day, but we they see all the details in the public. This is unprecedented transparency by this government. For sure, say we not begin nothing for hide. We didn't cook up anything. We not make up anything. And that them people here, really, I think by now all man know now because we don't see the evidence is so overwhelming. Then grab, then gather themselves, then go to Moriman, then find weapons, then come, then say then they can't tap me picking and you picking from going to school peacefully.
Okay.
And then people in there would have tried for bringing to justice.
All right. Still government to look for some of the people we take part of but government again know some people we do we still day and people allege say governments not do nothing. We get for do it. Former President Koroma from where go from medical
but that's
over a 3 months now, and we see him on social media how impact day and other things. Then people believe say now under the case done.
So the one thing will be also states very clearly now that everybody is innocent until you are proven guilty. Now that's not the presumption of the legal system. Even them fugitives they will run away so until the court slam say you guilty. I know the Leone say this person do this person do this. Now an allegation. Former President Koroma was arrested, was arraigned in front of a judge. In lawyer they apply for him. All that's now within the laws of this country. For say he get medical condition where they may require him for they left the country. The courts now therefore two distinctions here. The states don't do your part. The AG's office prepare the case, then go in front of a court. That's what a democracy should be. That's so democracy for work. When we go to the justice system in their own independence, in their own judgment, in their own wisdom, then say, okay, this man don't ask for leave for make it go. The courts being game, you follow the case, you know, lawyer be asked for 3 months, but at each stage, then they go in lawyer, then they show up na courts and ask for extension. That is not for me. I don't speak for the judiciary. The judiciary then get their own spokespeople. I speak for the executive. So as the executive, we're very clear, but we also know say I don't make this clear. Former President Koroma na be head of state of this country. The way we continue for call on this case for sure say we not get no malice. Now for treat her with the respect we in former office deserve. And that respect they now make no one day can I will call our names and all. But when the evidence shows say nobody know they above the law, nobody know they under the law, then bring and come the courts. In don't ask for this time off. The justice system then gets their own law and their own systems for make sure see them bring and come back. Or if you fail for show up, then get ways they wouldn't go hold accountable in short see them. That's not part of justice.
So in line with the November 26th coup and people wanna say na be called to accomplice wanna still look for in anyone I believe say because them still lay out there they're not threat to national security in any way.
Well, as long as them people and they outside of the law, then will constitute some amount of threats. Anybody we hope and wish me and you harm constitute some amount of threats. But what's important is whether this now what they will call credible threats and whether they get the capacity for act under the threats they would not impose on me. And we tell they assure the people of this country that the state security feel very comfortable right now that then they in complete control, and then people and they not get the capacity for wreak any significant damage or havoc on the peace, on the solitude, I would say, and the stability of this country. So whilst then they out there, yes, then capable for continue for them because they're not fugitives. They're now the reason that they make them are fugitives. But we don't get nothing for worry about as a state because we believe that the state security they're in charge.
So in terms of not get nothing for worry about, and also how much remind people say the different state apparatus and they on top of situation. At this time and age, you think that they hear the people for the about security business, people where they out there when a threat to national security and stuff like that. We people at the yarn for see change and development, Mr. Minister.
Well, I make we all for join hands. I make we thank the citizens of this country. We reject them bad people, yeah, and we should say they don't care for. We can disagree, but we don't want to go the path of violence again at this country. We don't see enough of violence. We go up in war at this country. Dynamic President Bill don't transition this country, focus on development, don't invest in education, neither invest in Big Five and say the priority of this country will fulfill with people there. Dynamic would do things like civic festival for bringing citizens together and say, let's focus our attention on Salon Big Pass we all, let's put Salon above all else. When are the call to patriotism. Dynamic would work with so many different artists, there are about 10 of them for do these national songs. We focus on with love for this country and call on people for join hand for build this country. Look, development, peace and security in a part of development. Most people say, oh wow, they focus on peace, we will not focus on development. You cannot, we will get development if you not also focus on peace. And peace now a continuing process. Security now a continuing process. Stability now a continuing process. So we continue for do that day while at the same time making sure say the development focus where His Excellency gets, we don't hold we also account for, we all sign that contract for. We will go display soon at the civic festival through them panel them and through the exhibition. Na dandy we want people the whole we account for. Na dandy na the focus we President Bill they remind we every day in the beginning of every cabinet in words to win that we get a duty for deliver for the people of this country, and then they will continue for do.
Continue for the way inside the program in name na Cherino Ba in the Minister of Information and Civic Education as we there for look at different issues we happen at the ministry and same way to look at security issue as recently we know say the soldier department may arrest or kill some people concerning the last November coup. Well, we will come back to Chernobyl. We'll go for a short break. When we come, we'll continue with more issues.
Step into a world where every story is an adrenaline rush. From epic battles to apocalyptic chaos, Y-Yard Simply Retelling Movies channel delivers the stories that keep your heart racing. Ready for the ride? Hit subscribe and turn on notifications to stay in the action. Join us in Y-Yard, where every retelling is unforgettable.
It's a program, Good Morning Salon, they continue, and when they come over to we studio guest, we still there with we are the Minister of Information and Civic Education, Chernobyl. You don't talk about the national security and all that in them. In any way, some of the issues surrounding national security don't they affect, political governance, especially on institutions that way people can expect much from.
Like which institution?
For example, you get institution the way for display issue, get for do with credibility and accountability. Institution the way for make sure say we laws and reform them they in place and not pick other debate and left, especially the salon judiciary, for example.
I think say anybody where they pay attention right now gonna see the political situation very stable. Parliament not just reports on parliament. When I'm a member of the SLPP, now they actually hold the chief whip, now they hold a state institution SLBC to account as democracy is supposed to be. We don't see, say, Parliament currently they review the appropriations. The Ministry of Finance, the paper with the table before them for look at the government's priorities in the next year. And we see, say, the opposition and the government and the ruling party, then they get a very heated, but generally, I think, friendly and productive debates as a democracy should be. So we see, say, that need to go on in terms of the governance process. The commitments where His Excellency will make, say, after they sign the National Unity Agreement, that we will deliver on all the 8 major areas of the Unity Agreement. In fact, at the festival, the first major session we get that Usai Day or National Unity, and the Chief Minister going on a panel day alongside members of the opposition party, the APC, for work together, for reports back to the people, because people can forget, say, on the National Unity Agreement, not to governments no more get responsibility. APC self get responsibility. Now be an agreement with the both sides that we make. So we bring them come talk to the people. Very important as part of the governance. One of the things that we are really proud of now that yesterday we get a big meeting with the co-chairs of the National Civic Festival, the Salon Civic Festival, and the co-chairs are Honorable Alhaji IB Kabo of the APC, when I be a former Minister of Information, and Dr. Julius Spencer, when I be a former Minister of Information. We bring on 2 former holders of medium current position, but respected statesmen across the political aisle, for let their advise we and counsel we. And now they advise and then counsel don't really inform part of the agenda, part of the structure of the Civic Festival. Again, a part of President Bio in commitment for sure say inside Salon, we can disagree on the politics, but when it comes to development and when it comes to we love for we country, we put Salon above all else. So if you take just the example and you take various institutions I just talked about last week, we did something where I really think it's truly remarkable. The town hall on people with disabilities. We get people there, we get some passionate stories, we get some critical questions that they ask we. One lady we get albinism, put up here and they say, why they go in medical facilities there? Are they go because and say if you get disability, healthcare supposed to be free? You see, then they ask me what's a disability because they don't even know say albinism na part of disability. We get students with the commerce. We ask tough questions. Minister of Health, Minister of Higher Education, Deputy Minister of Basic Education, various governments people across the aisle. A former opposition MP, Ms. Sidonde, Honorable Coffee, and we all spoke as one government, as one people for solve the common problems that we will get. So yes, we're not perfect. We continue to forget political disagreement, and we continue to forget big issues in the camp. The president don't declare, for example, say next year we'll get a census. That's a big thing. We also plan for doing demographic and health survey. So we get some major thing that the constitutional review process they come up, and at the festival we provide more information on the constitutional review process as well. So there is a lot of issues where we still get big conversations about, but what's really clear, Sabtu and Usman, now that we committed to the dialogue process, we committed for moving the conversation forward, and as we know today, we get the Ministry of Energy. Today, our biggest panel ever at the press conference, because no one left, nobody there. We bring them all come for answer to the many pressing problems people get. We don't say problem all day, but for the first time, you know the guess. If problem there, you can talk to us. We can bring the people to you. We can have a civilized conversation about how they move this country go before.
Alright, still get to do with the security issue. If you look at the TRC report, it gets different things we highlight. We get to do with the causes of where people may overthrow. One get to do with hardship, corruption, and the rest. Are we foreseeing some of them things there? We get a group of people we want to take over?
I mean, I think clearly everything we don't listen to during the treason trial and the court martial, it shows that then people are they're not be motivated by hardship. Actually, they want to take advantage of hardship, but not so hardship motivates them. And that make you see the people of Salon isolate them people and they completely. People of Salon say we no want for get nothing for do the wire. They were not bad people. They want to go so don't come no one go there at all. So it's very clear. And on the question of the hardship, my brother, you look at every month with a report on things like inflation and price. Minister of Agriculture, they report on, for example, food prices, the amount of imports and exports of food commodities in the country. We not don't solve the problem, but anybody they pay attention will say day in, day out, night and day, the government of President Bill, they do the work for move towards solving the problem. So you take inflation, we've been there in the 50s, now we're only below 20%. That means we move in the right direction. Anybody who can cause chaos, one can go bien, because when you cause problem, they can go 50 times bien. Anytime they say, oh, they come, then they slow the economy down. So the people of Salon don't understand that. Why? Because when they talk to them, when they communicate, and get access to the information. You take agriculture, you know, we go Kailan for go celebrate the gains they would make. We look at the record in terms of importation, the amount of money we don't save, the amount of things that we don't invest in, local production of onions. We now with the export oil. Would they begin with the investment the way President Bill don't make? Would they begin for see the returns? The commitment they will just get. We just sign $100 million plus project for focus on, for example, animal production. So we will make sure say this country we will also develop with livestock sector. So all the investment in there, now them will they focus on. Now make again will they do a festival for show people, so people will interact with the reality. When they say hardship, not they. But you go take education. When are the one to be the complaint, but all these years, 5 years of President Bill investment, you look at this best pass rates we don't ever get in the past 2 years in the history of this country. We talk about the subject pass rates across the country. We talk about the decentralization of education excellence. The top students are now the top schools. Not of it again, it's getting 4 or 5 schools. Now, you say the top school come on Kabbalah, the top school come on So, the top school come on the North, the top school come on the South. Why? Because President Bill don't invest. We don't achieve universal enrollment at the primary level. Okay. We don't achieve gender parity, you know. So, in terms of development, the government don't lay the foundation for that development day, and as so they take address the concerns the way the TRC be mentioned, not so by picking up guns, not so by threatening people, not so by dividing the country.
As you talk about the energy sector, so you get most of the key players in that area today. When will be the outcome of the energy sector retreat briefly?
Well, if I tell you now, I will can the press conference.
No, let people just know some of the outcome, the key outcome them of
yes,
the
to be honest, I'm not been there at the retreat.
Okay.
And I'm not can, as I say, I don't like for can't lie to people. So myself they wait for, but I follow at the end of the retreat. I follow some of the rights opponent when they put forward, and today the press conference I'll get a detailed briefing where I will be pleased for come back to for reports on. I think in general waiting President Bill seek for do now for ensure say there's clear lines of how the sector structured, how we they move towards the transformation plans. We all know say the current energy situation not sustainable. They pay too much money and they waste too much money. ETSA not still get the capacity yet for able to give people a light in the way people they want, and for collect the money for payback. So government they end up they subsidize a lot, even though we don't increase the tariffs or the rates or the charge, but still on a monthly basis the government of Salon through the treasury, a lot of the money they go because of wastages. So the part of the plan is how would they take advantage of MCC, the investment? Would they hope say they can't do now, finally after years and years of they come in, we don't sign. How would they make sure say that investment they not be wasted? With the other thing they would complement that investment they with the other investment they will get. And with we young plan for significantly increase people positive experience with energy. Who can at the studio this morning all man they complaining with people in the Eastern, they complain about the light situation. Then probably they get for require a bit of a bold solution. We get for like plaster, you get for root them out, and then you solve the problem. So I think today at the press conference I'd encourage people for listen and also I can carry with sometimes, and people for pay attention and ask direct questions. You can send the question to 818-932 line, and also use the platform that we'll get, and across all networks by the way. And when you send question, we'll get to Dr. Kande Yomkala put in at the panel. We're now in at the designated lead of the sector. We get the chairperson of the board of ETSA, Engineer Andrew Kiley Godede. We get the 2 deputy ministers of energy. They were too good in at the panel, again unprecedented. And then we get the coordinator of MCC, Madam Inde Koroma. So we get the full all mango day, no question, no go left unanswered. And today we'll give them 2 full hours for them to go in depth into that issue. Then
continue for day with we as we come back to you. That's not the Minister of Information and Civic Education, Chainoba. We don't take with you on different governance issue them and things that also they happen at the Ministry of Information and Civic Education. Inside the program, Good Morning Salon now. We go for a break.
Get ready for a brand new adventure in entertainment. Introducing We Yard, simply retelling, your ultimate destination for movie and TV series recaps and mind-blowing short AI films. We break down your favorite stories and reimagine them in ways you've never seen before. Launching officially on December 16, 2024. Don't just watch, experience the magic. Hit that subscribe button and join We Yard, simply retelling. The story starts with you.
Well, thank you very much. I think the question is really boku, but they're really substantive. I want to tell Famble and thank you for them questioning there. On the comments around blackouts and people not paying, I think they explain the problem they're a bit complex, and that includes yes, some MDAs no don't pay, but today at the press conference I think the people that were in charge of the sector will respond. What do they do about online TV stations then? We get a new government information policy where they come into effect before this year are done, and where they include very specific instructions and regulatory rules about online televisions, about bloggers, about new media. The problem is in the past, the laws and the policies that have not been covered the states of new media, including artificial intelligence. We're working very hard on that. The policy is done. It's already been tested. We don't already validate them, so that policy they come, so put them away about that as well. In terms of online incitements, I think we still get very strong cybersecurity law at this country. The one that we know they outside of the judicial of the outside of Salon, the one that they live overseas, where they continue to do that. What we can do, we continue for do but now for make sure people can get access to the right information, and that right information they always trump the terrible fake news peddlers and the one that with the thief lights. I think again today during the press conference we go address all of that. Whether we don't invite parliaments and the courts to the festival, the answer to that question is yes. We invite them all for participate, for not just take part by the panel, but also for make them display and show within themselves to do. Somebody mentioned 2 ministers fighting. If I law be clear, 2 ministers they not fight. Somebody will not to minister assault a sitting minister, and the case in a court, and that case they be followed. It's like court of law. Now be a case of blatant assault, as far as we know, and that case the courts they continue for looking to the matter. On the latest on CRTL, I think this question really meant for my colleague Minister Salim Abba when I'm in charge of the CRTL issue, but I will try to get that update today and hope she presents them. Somebody mentioned the retirement and the army said it's scary. I think just for be clear, somebody answered already. In terms of the army, they get a simple code. We serve in the military, say, in fact, I think in the Army Ordinance now 29, we say at any point the Defense Council can seek and ask for a compulsory retire. But what's important this time, that the way the governments of Salon don't do it. One, then the 53, when are the compulsory retirement, they're entitled to all the benefits and all the gratuity. In addition to that, the Defense Council approved 1 year advance bulk payments to each and every one of them, so that we will support them, the states will support them for go restart their life. And then people here, some of them are professionals, super educated, they get opportunities for contributing to civilian life. The one they win are because they abandon their duty, when they run away, of course they don't get nothing. And the one they win are for misbehavior, again the number they then small relatively, the one they do you don't misbehave, they don't be sent out. So and yes, so now my next question, and somebody asked what's happen at SLBC. Look, within the process of still reforming SLBC, there were lots of issues. And I remember say I've been good, I've been suspended leadership at some point. President Bill appoints a new leadership. We don't constitute a new board. Some of the growing pains the way SLBC been gets over the years is still there. Some of the challenges they will get is still there. But I assure people and say we they work really hard with the new board, with the new leadership and I'm glad we Parliament safely puts them down on some things. The Anti-Corruption Commission be review SLBC and they may come up with some recommendations about internal controls and all of that. This week we get additional meetings them for look at what we will do for support them. Keep in mind they're a semi-autonomous institution for support them for able for do that. And then the other question, I think the last question was somebody asked is about the state of the economy, whether people they get them 3 meals a day. I think if you look at again the trend on food security in this country, the investment the President Bill don't make, we are moving in the right direction with increased food production, with a reduce imports kind of the country, with the support to local farmers, them with they produce enough more and more egg down at the country, they produce more and more food for the country, they produce we are basing on the country, we don't keep the price stable for a period, and that investment they continue because President Bill and man will talk something. He do as he do with education, he get for do back with feed salon.
Plenty thank you to you, a Minister of Information and Civic Education, Chair Noba. We can talk on political governance and national security and also other related government issues. We be guest.